thing.
Yeah, it says live now.
Yep. So I'm not sure how to check chat. I would assume I'm just supposed to pull up the thing on my laptop. So let me turn this down real quick and see how well this turns out.
In the meantime, I'll just start humming very generic elevator music. Dun 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 dun.
So, all right, this should work.
Dun 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 dun.
It seems to be live.
Great.
Boom. So, into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the podcast we go.
Oh, man. Straight out the gate.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So am I. It's...
Like, I said this when I was doing my live stream. I've been saying that they should be doing this for years. Ever since they were doing Amazing Spider-Man. At the end of Amazing Spider-Man, I was like, this is a good step in the right direction, but they need to expand out. Because if Sony's going to be doing these movies, they need to like build up his rogues gallery. Not only his rogues gallery, but like have other Spider-Men in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing it.
Yes, they are. And it's crazy because around the time where they announced that Spider-Man was going to be in the MCU, people were like, it's going to be Miles Morales or one of the other Spider-Men. And then it's like, here's this awesome like Pixar-looking Spider-Man movie with Miles Morales in it.
Oh man, and I think the exciting thing about this is that they could potentially, because they are starting, like there is a universe of Spider-Man, like a multiverse of Spider-Man, that now they get to go into any multiple origin story that they wanted to. So like when Justice League came out, or even before Justice League, I was saying, you know, what would be really cool is if they did a Justice League movie right out the gate and then have every single standalone film just be an origin story. So that we already get introduced to Wonder Woman, but then we see her origin story. And I think that that's the best direction that they should go in. Yeah.
Like, I really want to see all the other Spider-Man. Like, I want to see some Spider-Ham.
Oh, yes.
Spider-Ham needs to get a movie. Like, especially with, like, we have Minions. Minions does well. Spider-Ham would be perfect for Sony to get in on that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Just like, how are we going to bring our superhero into the Minions sort of world?
Oh, man.
We have a pig Spider-Man that we can work with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm super fascinated by that. I think you brought this up in your live stream as well, the idea of if they did eventually build up to like a meeting between all of them, they all stay with their own animation from each film. So it's just like on screen, it's like 5 different animated like types.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool. Where it's like over here we have like the guy who looks like Pixar. Over here we might have like a 2D Spider-Man. Over here we have a looking guy.
Yeah.
Just so many things. I think they I don't think they did that for the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon because I know they did Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they did do Spider-Verse. Yeah, everyone just kind of looked the same.
Yeah, but style. Though I thought they were going to go differently because every time they entered a different world, it would be a different type of animation where one was in black and white, the other was extremely cartoony, the other was 2099 looked like CGI, like a video game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought they were going with, and then they were just like, no, we're just going to make it all into this 2D normal stuff. So I'm hoping that if they do Spider-Verse fully, they go where it's like everybody is different, even by how they look.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to be different.
Oh yeah, because I think the smart move for them to make this animated because it helps distinguish the difference between this continuity and the MCU continuity, which is very smart on their part. So I think that they should even do that even further with all the different, you know, Spider-Mans that they end up doing. Because I think like Spider-Man Noir as like a series of films, like that would be so cool to watch. And just like watch Spider-Man solve all these different crimes, and it's tonally going to feel completely different. But that way, even if the style is different, people can know, oh, well, this is this Spider-Man and this Spider-Verse, yeah.
And then like it'd just be super unique because I don't think we've had a movie where they just combine a bunch of different movies and have each character in the movie look completely different.
Yeah, especially with them all kind of having the same somewhat color scheme and like setup. Just like, all right, everyone's wearing a bodysuit with big bug eyes. Like you're gonna need to do something to help, especially with the animation for it to look distinguishable. Like I call it the Mace Windu purple lightsaber. Like you're gonna need to do something to help you be able to spot your favorite Spidey.
And also, like this is going to theaters, as far as I know, right? Which, as far as DC's the only one who has done DC and Marvel. They're the only ones who do theatrical releases for their animated movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it all started with Batman. Yeah, Batman and the Mask of the Phantasm.
So I think I have that on my shelf up there, a VCR copy of it.
Nice. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, my VCR TV is actually right under my desk.
Oh,
so
nice.
Cool.
Oh, no.
I have having to rewind it, but I love having it there because I have a bunch of VCR movies.
Nice. Oh,
super fun to watch. Oh my god. I'm scrolling through Twitter and they're just nothing but porgs on Twitter.
Talking Spider-Man. Oh, I see. I need to retweet this.
Yeah.
Look at this. We're doing stuff. Retweet.
We're doing all the things. Well, not all of the things, because I'd get pretty rated R pretty fast. But yeah.
We're doing one specific thing. We're talking about Spider-Man.
Yes, we're talking about the Spider-Man movie. So, what do you think the story is going to be more like the Spider-Man book? Because as far as we know, the only two Spider-Man we're going to see is Peter Parker and Miles Morales.
Well, I don't. So far, just based off of limited, that very short teaser, it looks like we know there will be Miles, and then there's going to be someone else. Because in this, apparently, I think everything's going to start in the Ultimate Universe because we see Miles Morales walk up to Peter Parker's grave. And so we know that Peter Parker is dead in this universe. So, and that other guy who said, wait, how many of us are there? I think is going to be someone else who got like somehow trapped or knocked into this world. And so I actually don't think that we're going to see Peter Parker at all. That's my theory. So
who do you think? Because I just assumed that like it was going to be the mainline Peter Parker from the animated universe that they're trying to do, just winds up in that universe.
That would be interesting. I would love to see that, but I think what they're trying to do, and this is just my guess because how Sony tries to like establish their own continuity and how they want everything to be very distinct, especially when it comes to the Spider-Man uniform. Like when they first went at a go of the Spider-Man uniform for Amazing Spider-Man, they went so far left. Like, yeah, he's got like sunglasses and like sneakers that like I feel like they would be willing to just like not even mention Peter Parker for a while. Because even if you notice in the trailer, the tombstone just says PP, like they don't say the full name. I think that they're like, trying to.
It's in shadow.
Yeah,
it's enough where you're like, oh, or halfway through the trailer, that was Spider-Man's grave.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think, from my understanding, they might be doing a similar thing that DC did with their animated universe for Bruce Timm's, the Timmverse. So when Bruce Timm was kind of head of all of the kind of DC animated shows, he did this thing where characters wouldn't cross over into another show unless it could be justified that they exist. So basically in Teen Titans, when Teen Titans was on, the Batman was on TV. And so the Batman kind of took place in somewhat of a different future, but they never had Robin in the show until Teen Titans was canceled. And then Robin showed up.
Okay.
And so he tries to keep maintain like a continuity of like, well, it wouldn't make sense for this character to be over here unless this other character was somewhere else. And so he tries to keep it somewhat of a continuity. So I think for what they might be doing with the Spider-Verse, and especially with it being animated, that like the Peter Parker that is the active Peter Parker is going to be the Peter Parker in the MCU, and that's the one that they're going to focus on.
Okay. Yeah. One second. I'm scrolling through Discord right now. I'm posting the links everywhere.
Discord's
completely taken over from Skype for me, because it's you get servers along with all the Skype features, especially now that they've added video calling, better at this point.
Ooh.
So
nice.
So good. Yeah. Also, one thing I want to bring up, because I always love the idea of animated, like full-blown animated superhero movies, is because you don't have to adhere to what you can get with practical effects or CGI, because you can essentially draw or animate anything, as you can find on YouTube, because there's some really weird animations. You can do whatever you want with animation. You could go like full-blown, like the monster Green Goblin from the Ultimate Universe, where he's not like a guy in a suit, he's just like a giant rage monster.
Yeah.
You can go full-blown that because it's animated, and if you throw enough money at it, you can draw whatever you want.
Totally. Well, even that scene when he was just running in the street and just like casually just like jumping off of a moving taxi to like chase after the Prowler. I'm just like, what? This is everything I didn't even know I wanted.
I saw Prowler, I was like, yes!
Yes. Oh,
but also,
it's just...
I wonder if that means we will ever get Miles in the MCU, because we have, supposedly, we have the guy who plays him. We have the character. And then, I think Kevin Feige has also referenced Miles at some point.
Oh, gosh. I would love it. I would love it for more than I could even... imagine. Like, I'm just re-looking at the trailer and just looking at the animation style, like that whole upside down shot.
Like, the shot of him just falling off of the building, it's perfect. It's amazing. Like, he jumps and like the glass flies off of his hands, and then he just falls and he webs himself up. It's so good. It looks great.
Absolutely. And he just, it just looks, it's just, this is just amazing. But yeah, I mean, you get shots like that that you'll be able to see, and just speaking to like the whole world of animation, I mean, we get to go in places that like you otherwise just wouldn't really be able to do, because it's the same thing with I think the challenge. I keep on bringing up all these DC things. The challenge with, I think, the DC world is that is the kind of destruction and also the size and scale of monsters, or even the superheroes, is you're limited. You're limited to what like your actors can do, and also what you can believably animate. But if you do ground it in like this somewhat cartoon comic book world, I mean, you can see these just really great, believable feats happening. So that's interesting.
And as like an animated thing where it clearly takes place in another universe, you don't have to be as grounded with everything. You don't have to as realistic as the MCU is trying to do, where they explain like the aspects of everything. Right. You can do just whatever you want, and since it's animated, people are more willing to suspend disbelief. Like we have movies where people are willing to suspend their disbelief to just go, oh, we live in a world where toys and inanimate objects come to life.
Right. Absolutely.
It provides this opportunity to do things that you would never dare doing in a movie, just because they're so far out there and so crazy. Like, not necessarily because it's appropriate, like a Deadpool kind of thing.
Right.
Like, just characters that you would never consider bringing into a movie or a Netflix show, you could introduce through animated movies first.
Absolutely.
And since it's animated, people are just like, well, I guess it's how it is, and that's really cool.
Yeah, because things like that, like, especially in the world of animation, you don't even question it. You're just like, yep. Like, and I think there is a bigger leap you have to make when it is live action people unless it applies to like the genre. So, for example, one of my favorite movies, surprise, surprise, is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I've yet to see that, actually.
Okay, if you get a chance, I think tonally it's one of the best, or just like stylistically, it's like one of the best comic book movies because of the way that they take this very meta comic that then uses the devices of film and makes it meta within film. So like they use a lot of like whip pan transitions or a lot of sound transitions to like move you across panels the same way, or move you in between scenes the same way that you would in a comic. Like the way that you would just see one panel is day, the next panel is night. They do the same thing, but with
really cool transitions.
Exactly. And so they also add all these other game elements into the movie, and they make it look visually believable that this would happen in this world, even though it's like a thing that wouldn't normally happen in the world. So like they make it like a live action cartoon basically, and it's done really well because Edgar Wright had that kind of vision, and the effects are just phenomenal.
I've been meaning to watch it because I've had opportunities. I've been meaning to watch it since I think Scott from NerdSync a while back said it was his favorite comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, well, you know, pretty much whenever I look into something that he says is cool, I've enjoyed it. Like Hamilton.
Yes.
Hamilton is still like, I listen to the entire soundtrack at least once every few weeks.
That's great. You're doing it right.
Perfect. Blow Us All Away is still super emotional.
Oh, gosh. I'm way overdue for a re-listen to. Like, ugh.
Yeah. What's your favorite song from Hamilton?
Ooh. I have to say Satisfied. I think
One Last Time is my favorite.
One Last Time is good.
I absolutely love that song because it was one I was listening to it out of order originally. I'm plugging my laptop right now. Where'd the cord go? There it is. I listened to it out of order, and I still really One Last Time is the one that really had an impact on me before I actually listened to it in chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so good. One last time. But yeah, back to animation. Back to movies. Oh yeah, Patreon undid their fee thing.
Oh
apparently.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool of them. I didn't read the whole blog post that he wrote, but I did get the notification just like, hey, not doing it. We heard you. We still cool.
Loud and clear. We heard you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been waiting for an animated Spider-Man film, especially because Spider-Man specifically is one of those heroes I feel is much better done in animation, more so than like Batman, because Batman's a very grounded person. All of the things that he does is extremely realistic. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man is one of those characters where just watching him swing through the air is always like, it's always amazing to watch, even in the worst Spider-Man films like Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2. Him swinging through the air and just doing acrobatic stuff was still really cool to watch, despite the quality of those movies.
Yeah,
so,
did you ever play Spider-Man 2 on
PS2?
Yeah, I had it on GameCube, but yes.
Oh, I have it on PS2. It's really good. I think I have it in my basement somewhere. It's so good. It's the best Spider-Man game so far.
That's fact. That's just fact. It is.
The swinging like mechanics in that game are really good, and they try to bring it back for Amazing Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 2 from still just done really well.
Oh gosh, it's the open world. Like you get to swing everywhere.
Yes, or everywhere your webs can take you. One thing I really love about the game, like just hanging on clouds. You have to be near a building in order to swing.
Yeah,
it made it really annoying trying to get across parks, though.
Yep, like absolutely.
Either run or go around. It made time missions horrible.
I did that thing where you have to like web and like yank yourself through. I did that a ton. Anytime I was like in those trees.
And it's so cool because like the level of progression where you upgrade how fast and like how fast, how slow, how much you can control you have, it feels like you are actually like there because like how the camera moves, how Spider-Man moves, and how everything looks, because it doesn't look very good right now, but for the time it looked amazing. And like
Yeah.
a fully populated New York City with like cars and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm super excited to see how they do that for like a full-blown, full production animated film.
Yeah.
MCU characters are really good for full-blown like animation, like Iron Man and Captain America and Thor. All those characters fly around, look great in animation, I think.
You know what you just made me think of? So you know how there's not going to be a standalone Hulk movie because Universal doesn't play nice. Do you think that we would ever get, depending on how Spider-Man does, do you think we would get an animated Hulk movie?
Ooh.
Because that would be amazing. So my two favorite comic book video games is Spider-Man 2 and Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
I've seen a lot of people play through Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I still hold that the Arkham games are my favorites along with Spider-Man 2.
Gosh, I think Arkham's great, and I don't dispute that. I still maintain my state because like Arkham, I would say maybe Arkham would beat out the first one.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. I think
I feel an animated Hulk film would be great because you could do some really fascinating transitions between Hulk and Bruce Banner.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like the MCU, it still looks really good, but it's largely just him growing, or it goes off screen.
Yeah,
you could do some really cool, like sort of like Clayface style animations, where like he's like bulging, bulging, and just poofing everywhere until he's just a giant, like 9-foot tall rage monster.
Absolutely. Well, so here's the thing about Hulk Ultimate Destruction. In that game, it's the same kind of concept. It's like a somewhat of a sandbox where you can just be Hulk and just destroy everything. It doesn't matter if there are civilians. It doesn't matter if there are civilians. It doesn't matter if there are like buildings. But if you do too much destruction, like this, like Hulk task force will come after you, and you can beat them, but you would have to do like some of the most craziest things. Because like sometimes I would just like start trouble just to get people to attack me. Because one of my favorite moves to do is the Hulk. He could run really fast, but then he could run up the side of a building. One of my favorite moves to do is run up the side of a building as far up as I could go and then pile drive down and just decimate everything below me. And I think that that would be amazing. I think that would be so awesome to see. Something like that in a Hulk movie, like an animated Hulk movie.
Yeah, it'd be... I feel like you could also go a bit far with the limitations because you can show like blood and violence and stuff in animation. I think much more than you can in real life, in like the MCU, not real life, obviously.
No, real life, yeah.
Oh yeah, the MCU is just like a huge documentary about like what happened. I would love to see like just a fan film or even like a full thing where just somebody goes through and they do like a documentary where they just walk around New York acting like the Avengers are actually real. It's like, over here you'll find Stark Tower. And it's like just like a found footage film in the MCU.
Wow, that'd be really good. I wonder actually if you could just like splice together footage from like Cloverfield and footage from just the first Avengers.
You probably could, because there's a lot of destruction in those movies.
Yeah.
You could probably like, the aliens are invading, or the Ultron bots are roaming everywhere, and then just cut to people running from a monster.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be really... that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Huh. Well, found a new editing project.
Yes! We need to get that off the ground. It'd be great if like you could get like Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. involved in that and like have an interview in character.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh look, you can see them. That'd be great.
Wow.
Like that'd just be awesome. And that would remind me of like the first little bit of Justice League, where like you've seen Justice League, I'm assuming.
Oh yes.
That first opening scene where it's just a bunch of kids filming a podcast and they're like, Superman. I'm like,
yeah,
that was really cool. That was one of my favorite moments in the DC movie so far, because just a bunch of little kids wanting to just, they're doing internet stuff.
Yeah.
And Superman's like, well, okay, I guess I'll do this. And he's super cool. Superman versus Flash race from NerdSync. Just got the notification.
Ooh, no way.
Yeah, Scott just uploaded a new video. I think he said there's another one that's supposed to drop today on Twitter.
Sweet.
Yeah, we need more NerdSync. 100. Can we just get Scott to just film his life, like 100%, just constantly live stream? You can do that from your phone now. So
yeah, I saw the updates.
Yeah, I haven't actually messed with it. It's really cool because you can add filters live.
Ooh.
It's like there's some really interesting filters that you can do. I haven't really done anything with the live on mobile yet. I meant to a while ago, but what I was planning on doing with it wasn't in the best weather, because I was going to film me going to a comic book store, and then the weather was horrible, so I just went home instead.
Well, if you
Across the
didn't live
street in the
stream
rain, it didn't happen.
Yep.
I think he uploaded. Did he upload another one? Because I just got another notification.
Maybe.
I don't think so. Maybe. You probably didn't notice this error, an iconic blank. I can't read the rest of the notification on my phone. He did, because I go to my YouTube notifications and there's 2 links to 2 separate videos.
Oh, weird. I mean, YouTube has been super glitchy lately.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's been just a nightmare.
I'm really hoping next year is just, they need to crack down on the glitches and the adpocalypse situation hard.
Yeah, I just uploaded I did a live stream 2 weeks ago. Oh, no, these are 2 videos, yeah.
Oh. Cool.
Great. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but we'll see if it stays up.
I think he tweeted out that there were supposed to be 2 videos today. So, I don't know. They uploaded within 60 seconds of each other, according to my YouTube app. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, okay. YouTube needs to fix like the glitches, because I think there are still people who are suffering from the whole you don't get notifications even if you sign up for them.
Yeah, even if you ring the bell, it doesn't do anything.
Which is weird, because the entire point is you ring the bell, you get notifications.
Right. Which is secondary to subscribing, which also meant that you got a notification. It's just, have you seen all the new things that they're going to be rolling out pretty soon with the top row on mobile? Basically being a Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why focus on that? You have glitches. You can, like, the adpocalypse is still really in effect right now for a bunch of people. Especially considering, like, unless you are instantly able to get a real review, chances are you're going to lose a bunch of money and views, because you can't get most of your views come when you, like, within the first few days.
Mm-hmm.
So YouTube just needs to focus more on making YouTube a better platform next year.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to crack down on it.
Yeah, because I think it's weird, because I feel like the thing that YouTube continues to do is, I mean, first off, it just make changes like a misinformed parent. Just like, oh, you want ad-free stuff or less ads? How about you pay for it with YouTube Red? It's just like, no, I mean, it's not what we meant. I mean, sure, it's fine. Thanks, but that's not what we're talking about.
I mean, you can like and dislike ads now, apparently.
Where's that option? I want to dislike this one ad that has to do with an energy company that, unless they want to sponsor me, YouTube.com, that's not stupid. But like, yeah, I just want a better YouTube experience, which is like YouTube is like a video platform. And so I just want to watch videos. And if I like a channel, I want to watch videos from that channel. And that's it. Like, if I want to discover new stuff, like, it's not difficult to find videos on YouTube. So
yeah,
like they keep on making these recommendations as if like I don't know what I want to watch. Like, hey, I saw that you were looking up a tutorial on how to fix your kitchen sink. Do you want to watch this other YouTube channel about that? No, I don't, because I fixed my kitchen sink. I'm done, YouTube. I'm not an aficionado of kitchen sinks.
I feel that there should be a way for them to tell when a video is just a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Like, when you're looking up a tutorial for how to fix a kitchen sink or something like that, unless it's like part of a series on how to fix kitchen sinks, it should just go, well, he watched that video and he left a like, so I'm guessing that he doesn't need any more kitchen sink advice. Well, let's see what else he's been watching.
Yeah.
Oh, let's show you some Markiplier videos or whatever.
Yeah. Like, I feel like the way that the sub feed, and I feel like home should be less YouTube, or at least on the mobile. I think, because if you have a YouTube mobile app, then that means that you've logged in and you have like an account. So I feel like the home should be what you want to be on your homepage.
Sure. So what I'm hearing is like swap the sub feed in the home. When you log in, the first thing you see is your sub feed.
Yeah.
The things that you've opted, like the people you subscribe to, for the people you support and respect and stuff like that, are there. And then down on our recommendations. Because right now, whenever you over, it's always recommendations, trending, subscribe, and then your account.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they just changing it would be, it'd have a much better effect, because people are always complaining about how their recommendation feed isn't showing what they want. I feel a lot of people will stop complaining about that if it's not the first thing that they're able to notice when they log in.
Yeah.
So.
And I also feel like the recommendations, like trending, fine, sure, keep it. But like, I think you shouldn't have two feeds where you're trying to make us watch other videos, and only 1.5 feed dedicated to what we actually want.
Yeah.
Because I think that's just backwards. Because it's like you don't get to, like when I'm watching like regular TV, I know like what channels I want to start browsing. I'm not just gonna go through every single like channel on there. I know what kind of like section I want to stay around, and I think that YouTube is trying to like kind of force that upon you, instead of like, because there is fun in finding new things. That's why I remember watching and subscribing to Vsauce 2 and Vsauce 3, because they found different interesting things on the internet for me. I'm like, oh, well, this is great. Exactly. Like, I'm like, oh, so I get to like find these really cool like smaller communities or these really interesting things because these guys are like curators. And
the Dom YouTube channel is filled with just craziness.
Gosh, it's so much fun, because, and I think that that's what's missing. I think YouTube is trying to get us to continue to watch the videos that are already popular, instead of letting us find things that
aren't.
Yeah, that aren't, like, or even that are still like adjacent. Like, YouTube is yet to like recommend a video essay for me that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Like, or not even video essay, like any video. YouTube hasn't yet to recommend a video for me that I'm like, I don't know what my life was like before they recommended this video for me, but I sure am glad that they did.
I think they've done it a couple times with me, where like I'll be really glad that I watched a video from my recommendation feed. But also I think on trending they are doing a thing where they take creators who are getting subscribed to a lot more within the past few weeks and putting them onto the top of the trending page.
Yeah.
I think the last time I was super happy that I watched a video in my recommendation feed was a few weeks ago, when I think it was Jacksepticeye did a Let's Play of the game Doki Doki Literature Club, and I only watched that because it was the top thing in my recommended feed.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I need some white noise to go on in the background. Click. Oh, this game is fascinating and horrifying. Which, by the way, if you have a computer, I highly recommend playing Doki Doki Literature Club, as long as you're over 13 and are fine watching really disturbing things happen on screen.
Okay.
It's amazing. But we got really derailed.
Sure did.
From this. YouTube, be better. We love you. You help us. YouTube is amazing because it helps a lot of people. Like, I've made a ton of like my closest friends I've made through YouTube and internet stuff. So I really want YouTube to do well.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, YouTube, do better, be better. Hopefully next year will be amazing.
Yeah,
and
YouTube.
Now let's go back to superheroes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, YouTube, be the Spider-Man into Spider-Verse that we need you to be.
Great segue. YouTube, with great power comes great responsibility.
Solid.
Do you see Jessica Jones said that in the trailer?
She sure did. She sure did.
I'm like, Spider-Man reference in Jessica Jones. And I realized it's like they take place in the same universe.
Now,
Kinda.
When they said that, I really just wanted to be like, does that mean that J. Jonah Jameson is gonna make a king? Because if she knows that, then maybe, I don't know. Let me see it. I would love it if they did like Scarlet Spider or someone else, or like like I would love it if they did have a guy in there who I know they already had like Ben Urich in the Daredevil movie or series, but if they had like another Ben and his name was just Ben Reilly and he was one of the Spider-Man clones, I would love that so much.
I feel J. Jonah Jameson, if you didn't get like a super big actor to play him in the movies, you could easily use him to link from the MCU to the Netflix shows and like just normal TV shows and all the other movies. Especially because I think Karen Page in Daredevil and Punisher works for a paper company. You could easily go, it's being bought out by the Daily Bugle, and now J. Jonah Jameson works here.
Oh my gosh, that would be so good. I haven't made my way all the way through Punisher.
Dude, it's awesome. It's slow at parts, but it's still really good.
Yeah, I think I'm like 5 episodes in. But one of the things I want them to do, I realized just when you were mentioning that, is that if they could get Karen Page or Turk to show up in any of the
Turk everywhere.
He's my favorite. I love it. I love that he's the linchpin. Him and
Claire, who was actually not in Punisher.
Yeah, which I mean makes sense. I mean, I feel like Karen is the anchor for
Punisher. Yeah, because they had their thing during season 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but, like Turk is in all the things, and he is always great.
I would love it if in Infinity War somehow he was just like in the background, even if he was just in the background, just eating the bagel or something. I just think that would be amazing, because then that means that everything.
The scene where like Iron Man and Doctor Strange are like standing in the middle of the street, have him be like one of the civilians where he's just there, and then like things are happening, and Iron Man comes, he's like, screw this, I'm going back to Hell's Kitchen.
Yep. Like he's just like, listen, I'm just going back to Chicago. It's too much over here.
So many costumes.
Yes. Oh,
every day is Halloween in New York, guys.
Okay, so I mean, bridging the gap between most of the topics we've gone about or talked about, the moment in the Infinity War trailer where Tom Holland's hair stood up on end,
spider sense.
I screamed. I just audibly screamed. Because that was like,
yes!
The coolest way to show Spidey sense. I think he's just sitting there, hair goes up, what? And then he just, I just love that. I love it. Loved it.
And like, we knew he had spider sense, and I was kind of sad that they didn't show it in Homecoming, even though like we saw it during Civil War during the airport fight scene, and then it just wasn't at all there in Homecoming. And then here it's like within the first trailer, like, yeah, no, he has spider sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember reading some interviews where they're saying that the first movies focused on it a lot more
Oh yeah,
than,
definitely.
and so that they didn't really feel the need to focus on it as much, but they still wanted to show it in a different kind of way than how it had been shown before, which I thought was fantastic.
Oh yeah, they did a really good job though. I still feel one of some of my favorite Expressence moments are during the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, where just everything goes slow motion and we get just like a huge pan view around everything. Especially during Spider-Man 2, where it's rocking everything and he's away from touching anything metal. So it just slow-mos everywhere around him, and then it speeds up and he just starts webbing everybody up. It's great.
Yeah, the moment where he just kind of like yanks someone, like he webs something and just kind of yanks it over. That was one of my favorite moments in that movie.
It's so good.
Oh, so solid. Yeah, I think, gosh, I mean, it's just so great. And it's so, I mean, with Infinity War coming up and them already building up the Justice League movie, and then there's so many other like Marvel films coming up, I think that going animated, especially with the success of the Lego Batman movie, I think that that's the best way for these studios to kind of like double dip on these properties, because that I think an animated Iron Man movie would be good, because here's my theory. I think in Infinity War, Tony Stark is going to die.
Oh, it would make sense because he started it all like 10 years ago.
Exactly. So that's my guess. And so with that, I think even though they wouldn't have like a live action Iron Man, they could do the Invincible Iron Man, and he is in the animated universe. And that way, Disney can just continue to print money, and I think that that's another way to give all of these superheroes a second life, like have it be animated.
Like if a movie starts like selling well, or you need to kill off the character due to their contract, you could easily go into like an animated movie and go, sure, Chris Evans might not be Captain America anymore over here, but here we have some animated adventures. In fact, you could even go as far as to make them canon to the MCU. It's just adventures that we never got to see.
Totally. That's great.
Like I would love to see just a slice of life of just the Avengers all living together. Sort of like what Teen Titans Go is, but not Teen Titans Go.
Do you remember, let's see, what was it called? Let's see. Nope. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to find it. It was called, so on Dexter's Lab, one of the shorts was called The Justice Friends. And it was Major Glory, Val Hallen, and the infraggable Kronk. And they were just roommates. And it was just like a little show about them just living together and being roommates. And it was hilarious.
Yeah, and just like that kind of stuff would be really cool, just to have like slice of life. Like I know a lot of people want just like comic books about superheroes, but it's all just like, what do they do between each issue and between each conflict? Mm-hmm. Like what's Batman's favorite hamburger? Or flavor pizza?
Yeah.
Which I think Tom King has actually done a lot with, because he's introduced like Bat Burgers. Tom King has there's a joke going around in like the latest thing where there's a restaurant themed after Batman. Mm-hmm. And there keep being scenes where it's like him and the Bat family just sitting there eating, like in normal clothing, they just eat like hamburgers, while there's people like waiters are dressed as like Batman and Red Hood and Nightwing asking, would you like a side of Robin fries with that? And it's super cool.
That sounds amazing.
It is, and I would love to just have what do superheroes do in their free time? You could even just make it a miniseries where each issue is like a different hero, and then collect it into a volume where it's like the everyday of a hero.
Oh yeah, call it like just like Batman's day off, or like
Superman's day off.
Yeah, like, oh, that would be so good.
I feel Superman would have a really cool one, especially because now he has a wife and son.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily do like a really cool thing with like Jonathan being just there, because people love Jonathan, and it's great because he's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be them just going on, like, just going to the beach.
Like Super Sons is amazing. I'd love to get a slice of life Super Sons.
I haven't read Super Sons yet.
Super Sons is Damian and Superboy teaming up, and now they even have their own base that Batman and Superman built for them, and they're going to be going to school together.
Batman and Superman built a treehouse. Yay!
I don't think it was a treehouse. It was more like a cave, or like similar to what they have in Young Justice.
Okay, yeah.
But, like they have a full on like mini watchtower for like the sidekicks.
Oh, this looks amazing.
Oh, it's so cool. And then I think it's next issue they're going to say that they're going to school together.
Wow.
It's like Bruce Wayne's like, well, now you're going to be going to school in Metropolis with John. So have fun with that. And then Damian's being Damian, and he's like, no, even though we're like best friends, I'm just going to act like a jerk because I am emotionally distant. And then everybody else is like, this is awesome.
Oh, that is just... wow.
Yeah, I'd love just to get some slice of life stuff. What if the Into the Spider-Verse film is just Miles Morales, just his everyday before he actually starts fighting crime?
Just an hour of just him, like, all right, washing dishes. Like, we get like 20 minutes of an actual calculus class.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, all the stuff that we see where it's like, we got, like, this other Spider-Man at the end who's like, how many of us are there? And we got Prowler. That's just, like, the last half hour.
Why did you wait for this?
Same thing with Spider-Man, with Amazing Spider-Man 2.
True.
Like, they had words like, Rhino is in every trailer, but he has, like, maybe a minute.
Yeah, like that.
I will say, as much as I hated that, I really did like that last shot of him twisting through the bullets, throwing manhole covers. I thought that shot looked really cool as a final shot.
Yeah, I mean, when I see things like that, I'm like, well, we're going to get more of that, right?
Yeah, like, the Amazing Spider-Man movies are visually amazing, pun intended. And they could have been so much better. But, like, I still watch them a lot because I'm just like, look at Spider-Man swinging through the air.
Yeah. No, I feel like the Amazing Spider-Man series was like Marvel, or I guess technically Sony's version of like Zack Snyder's vision of just like, well, if we can make it look cool, then that's all people will want. It's like, I mean, sure, but we also want like
a good story.
A good story, and then not rush goblin story. Just like, okay, all right, I guess being a goblin's like a disease now, and
that's weird. I prefer. I think they were really trying to go ultimate, where it's like he's meddling with like drugs, and that turns him into a goblin. But in the end, it just didn't pan out, considering we spent more of the time focusing on Electro. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, they focus so much on Electro, and that's the thing, is that you have to. Amazing Spider-Man suffered the same that DC is suffering, which is they are building these movies piece by piece without a future vision of like what it's going to be.
Yeah, you need to have an end goal first.
Absolutely. So like if you look back at the original Spider-Man movie, like the early 2000s one, like, hey, like Peter and Harry, Peter and Perry, that's their ship name. Harry. So Peter and Harry are best buds, and Mary Jane is the girl of his dreams who he can't quite talk to. But Harry can because, well, he's cooler than Peter. And so they set up that dynamic. And then in the sequel, you see how things
changes throughout the movies.
Yeah. And so how Peter Parker can't say that he loves Mary Jane because Harry needs Mary Jane. Like, the love is his life. I mean, somewhat, and they kind of has somewhat of a manipulative relationship, but he needed her, and so Peter stayed away. He tried to do his own thing, and but you have tension between those different kinds of relationships when you set them up. But then when you try to bring them in like the second movie of Amazing Spider-Man, Harry's just like, oh man, Harry, remember how we were the best of buds and I've never mentioned you in that other movie? Yeah, the best of friends.
The first movie did a really good job of setting up for future plots, but being able to wrap them up enough where after each movie it was fine, and then being able to expand on it. Like the relationship with Mary Jane ended like well within Spider-Man 1, and then Spider-Man 2 it's like, oh, but here's a bit more, until we got to Spider-Man 3 where they got engaged. I think I don't remember any of that movie.
Yeah,
I remember Sandman was kind of cool in that movie.
Sandman was great, but Raimi was just forced to put every villain.
They were forced. It's like, we're gonna add Venom, and then Harry's gonna be a bad guy, but not a bad guy. Because towards the end, he's a good guy.
Yeah, it's just...
those movies were fine.
Yeah,
or at least that one movie, Spider-Man 1 and 2, were still awesome.
Yes.
I still hold the train fight scene. There was that one scene that somebody pointed out to me doesn't really make sense, where Doc Ock throws Spider-Man, and then somehow, as we're following Spider-Man, he winds up behind Doc Ock.
I need to rewatch that scene.
Yeah, it's there's like a scene on the train where he throws Spider-Man, and Spider-Man like flips through a ledge, and he comes out behind Doc Ock and kicks him in the head or whatever.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Weird.
I never put that together. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. That'd be like if you stood on top of a train, shot a bullet, and the bullet shot you in the back.
Yep.
Like that's not how physics works.
That's train logic.
It's Spider-Man, so it looked really cool. So I was just like, look at this awesome fight between a man with 8 arms and a spider boy.
Yep. My favorite thing is when he got like thrown up, and then there's that bridge, and then he's like, "Oh, a bridge!" and then he just like turns his body. I remember just being the most excited person in that theater when that happened.
Oh yeah, those first few movies are really cool. Yeah. I absolutely love those, and I hope that the animated film will be able to stand up to that.
Absolutely. Way to bring it back.
Yeah, we got to bring it back to animation. So, all right, I have a question. Non-Spider-Man related characters that you think should get an animated film?
Okay. Non-Spider-Man. I definitely think Static Shock. Because he's my fave, and I think that DC is sleeping on not making a Static Shock TV show or anything.
As far as I know, they still have to pay royalties whenever they use him. I feel if you made a movie, it'd be worth it. But I know, like, they tried having him in the Teen Titans comic during the New 52 and decided it wasn't worth it to have him in there. And they were like, "Oh, it's not selling."
Because they wrote a garbage story.
Wasn't good. The comic wasn't really good, and that's why I feel if they gave Static Shock and all those characters from the whatever company that
it's Mirage.
Static Shock,
not Mirage. That's Ninja Turtles. Milestone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they gave the Milestone characters like a actual chance with some good artists or good writers or like a good animated film, they could there'd be a lot of demand, and it would be worth it to pay those royalties to produce these really cool projects.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is so just sticking to the list, I think Static Shock. I also think I've been saying this for years, but just because I'm a early 2000s lover of animation, I really think that they need to bring back Kim Possible and make a Kim Possible animated series movie.
I barely remember Kim Possible because I was like a really young child during that.
All right, so let me tell you this.
I remember watching that alongside my favorite Power Rangers iteration, just due to memory, SPD.
Oh, SPD, yeah. Yeah, no, SPD was great. Ooh, and also American Dragon Drake Long, or Jake Long. That's another live action movie. But so Kim Possible is basically like a teenage 007, but had like a very public identity.
Doesn't she have a pet hamster or something?
Her best friend Ron had a pet. Wait for it. Wait for it.
We're waiting.
Wait for it.
We're waiting. Mole rat.
What is that? That freaky thing? Yes, that's right. It's a naked mole rat.
I was supposed to say it is a mole rat. Okay, I got that right. I know my animals.
Yeah. It's so yeah. Those are.
I've been meaning to go back and watch all those shows I watched as a kid, like Kim Possible, Codename Kids Next Door. I remember was amazing.
Yeah.
I would watch a Kids Next Door film.
Yes. Ooh, and I would watch a Ben 10 animated movie.
Oh yeah, the Ben 10 movies, as far as I remember, weren't that great.
The live action ones, no. I mean, because again, they had a TV budget and they were trying to do the best they could, but it's not going to be the same as.
It works best in animation.
Absolutely,
just due to the story and the stuff that happens. It's full-blown movie production value. Mm-hmm. It will work best in animation.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, those are the ones I'd want. What about you?
I'd like to see if Moon Knight never gets a Netflix show, I'd like to see like a nice adult-rated Moon Knight animated movie.
Nice.
Who else? I want to say Condiment King, but I feel that would never happen. Nightwing needs a animated film. We need to give Nightwing some love because he gets a lot of love in the animated movies, but he doesn't have his own yet.
Yep. Absolutely.
Nightwing is my favorite member of the Bat family and my favorite DC hero, so I would love just to have him as a animated character.
Yep. No, that would be great.
Yeah. I sent you a message asking if you'd be fine if we did a live narration of this thing. People took a predictive text AI, and fed them the Harry Potter books and had it write a 3-page chapter.
What? I will absolutely.
I sent you the link.
Okay.
I feel we should do a live narration of it.
Oh my goodness.
Because I've held off from reading past page 1 because there's only 3 pages to this. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. And the first page I read was hilarious.
Okay.
Because it's made by an AI, so like there's a lot of like really weird broken English.
Okay. All right.
You have it up?
I have it up.
Okay. So we should do this. We each take a chapter.
Or a paragraph? Or a chapter?
Yeah, a paragraph.
Okay, yeah. Lead the way.
Yeah. Okay. The castle grounds snarled with a wave of magically magnified wind. The sky outside was a great black ceiling, which was full of blood. I'm already confused. The only sound drifting from Hagrid's hut was the disdainful shrieks of his own furniture. That actually makes sense in the Harry Potter world. Magic. It was something that Harry Potter thought was very good.
Leathery sheets of rain lashed at Harry's ghost as he walked across the grounds towards the castle. Ron was standing there doing a kind of frenzied tap dance. He saw Harry and immediately began to eat Hermione's family.
Why? Okay. Ron's Ron shirt was just as bad as Ron himself.
If you two can't clump happily, I'm going to get aggressive. Confessed the reasonable Hermione. Your family just got consumed by Ron. I don't know why you're reasonable.
What about Ron magic? Offered Ron. To Harry, Ron was a loud, slow, and soft bird. Harry did not like to think about birds.
Dead Eaters are on top of the castle, Ron bleated, quivering. Ron was going to be spiders. He's gonna be spiders. He just was. He wasn't proud of that. but it was going to be hard to not have spiders all over his body after all is said and done.
Look, said Hermione, obviously there are loads of Death Eaters inside the castle. Let's listen in on their meetings. That's the first sentence that actually makes sense.
All right, yeah. The three complete friends zapped onto the landing outside the door to the castle roof. They almost legged it, but witches are not climbing. Witches, right? Ron looked at the doorknob and then looked at Hermione with searing pain.
I think it's closed, he noticed.
Locked, said Mr. Staircase, the shabby-robed ghost. Oh, good, we get to know who the ghost is.
Yeah.
Good. They looked at the door, screaming about how closed it was, and asked it to be replaced with a small orb. The password was beef women, Hermione cried.
Harry, Ron, and Hermione quickly stood behind a circle of Death Eaters who looked bad.
I think it's okay if you like me, said one Death Eater.
Thank you very much, said the other. The first Death Eater confidently leaned forward to plant a kiss on his cheek.
Well done, said the second as his friend stepped back again. All the other Death Eaters clapped politely. Then they all took a few minutes to go over the plan to get rid of Harry's magic. Are they all doing this in front of him?
I don't know. Harry could tell that Voldemort was standing right behind him. He felt a great overreaction. Harry tore his eyes from his head and Voldemort raised his eyebrows at Harry. Voldemort raised his eyebrows at Harry, who could not see anything at the moment.
Voldemort, you're a very bad and mean wizard, Harry savagely said. Hermione nodded encouragingly. The tall Death Eater was wearing a shirt that said, Hermione has forgotten how to dance. So Hermione dipped his face in mud.
Ron threw a wand at Voldemort. Ron smiled and reached for his wand slowly.
Ron's the handsome one, muttered Harry. I don't see anything wrong with that sentence. That sounds perfectly normal. As he reluctantly reached for his, they cast a spell or two, and jets of green light shot out of the Death Eaters' heads. Ron flinched. Not
so handsome now, thought Harry as he dipped Hermione in hot sauce. The Death Eaters were dead now, and Harry was hungrier than he had ever been.
The Great Hall. Confused. Yeah, I mean...
I read a whole book like this, if I'm being honest.
The Great Hall was filled with incredible moaning chandeliers and a large librarian who had decorated the sinks with books about masonry. Mountains of mice exploded. Several long pumpkins fell out of McGonagall. Dumbledore's hair scooted next to Hermione as Dumbledore arrived at school.
The pig of Hufflepuff pulls like a large bullfrog. Dumbledore smiled at it, placed his hand on its head. You are Hagrid now.
Oh, we're the only people who matter. He's never going to get rid of us, Harry, Hermione, and Ron said in chorus.
The floor of the castle seemed like a large pile of magic. The Dursleys had never been to the castle, and they were now about to come there in Harry Potter and the portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash. Harry looked around and fell down the spiral staircase for the rest of the summer.
I'm Harry Potter, Harry began yelling. The dark arts better be worried. Oh boy!
And that is a narration of not Batman. Harry Potter and the portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash.
Wow.
The best Harry Potter book, obviously.
Yeah. It's
best written. You could tell J.K. Rowling put so much effort into this.
I mean, honestly, worth the wait. Worth the wait.
Worth the wait. We're like the 15-year wait.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That is.
Now we just gotta wait for the movie.
Oh, the movie is gonna be. They need to animate it, Animate the movie
Yes.
just so we can get all those magic-y things.
Oh yeah, I was actually thinking as I read this, I'm waiting for somebody just to do an animation of this.
Oh, it's only a matter of time.
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, that is weird. I didn't understand what was going on. There was like maybe 2 coherent sentences in that entire thing.
Yep. Harry Potter and the portrait of what looked like a pile of ash. Gosh, that's amazing.
My favorite line is, he saw Harry and immediately began to eat Hermione's family.
Oh no, Harry's here. I got to eat Hermione's family before time's up, I guess.
I also love the Dark Arts better be worried.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. The Dark Arts had better be worried. Just crazy. I really hope the people who did this do more. I would yes, I want more predictive text Harry Potter. Make a full book of it.
Man.
Like full 100 pages, and we would narrate the entire thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. From beginning to end in one sitting.
I mean, I'd be up for that. Like if I found a day. Yeah. So good.
Take the day off. Oh.
Just take a day off. What are you gonna do? Says your boss. I'm gonna read Harry Potter all day.
Oh, I'll join you.
Well, we got our voices. Goal is to get enough of a cast ready so we can just do voices for every character. There's a narrator and then a voice for each character.
Yep.
Be the perfect podcast.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, hey, I actually have the boogie pretty soon.
All right.
But this is great. Thank you so much for sharing. First off, that with me. My life is now forever changed. But
anytime, man.
Fantastic.
You got any social media links you want to plug?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Stewdippin and YouTube Stewdippin as well. Those are the main
Those links should be in the description, and they are on the channels tab.
Yeah, and that's where I try to do most things. Lately, I've just been buried with work, so I haven't been as active, but I will be, I promise.
But you do have a huge backlog of videos to go through if you're new.
Yeah, that's a great point. Watch almost 300 of them.
Actually, I've seen like a lot of them. Most of them are fantastic.
That's right. You heard it here first. Most of the videos are fantastic.
I really recommend the one where what Doctor Who teaches you about being an adult.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're an adult doesn't mean you have to lose that happiness and that childlike part of your personality.
Oh, thanks. That's one of my all-time favorite videos I've made, so I'm glad you like it.
Also recommend the peanut butter jelly time.
Yes, that one too.
we need more banana costume. How much would I have to pay for you to go around a week in real life with a banana costume on?
Gosh.
All day, every day. To work, shopping.
I really should value myself more than what my first answer was going to be. I'm just like, I don't know, what, $50? But that's wrong.
Done.
That's wrong. That's not the right answer.
I extract photo evidence, and I will PayPal you $50. Not really. Yeah, seriously, go check out all those links in the description or on the channels tab right over here or up here. I'm not sure where they are on YouTube.
Directions. It's somewhere.
There's somewhere. There's. You're watching this on the home screen, it should be over here. If not, there should be a channels tab somewhere up above us. Click there, and then Ricky should be one of the top ones, I think.
Yeah. It's this face with blue in the circle.
Yeah. The guy in the hat.
Me.
The cat in the hat.
Have
you ever dressed up as Cat in the Hat?
I haven't. My life has been so wasted.
Your thing is hats. You want to be a hat model.
Why have I not done that yet? You're right. All right, well.
You should at least get like the Cat in the Hat, like the big striped top hat.
I should. I do need to at least own that hat.
Yeah, go check those out. Follow me on Twitter at Brandovader. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification because YouTube needs to get their stuff together. And there should be a link to a Discord server in the description below, which is the easiest way to contact me and other people in the community. And we will hopefully see you all in our next videos.